A big announcement for Shoppers Drug Mart and Loblaw grocery store customers who collect loyalty points. Starting in February, PC Plus points and Shoppers Optimum points will merge under a new loyalty program at equal value. It's going to be known as PC Optimum. Now, panicked collectors are being assured their current points will carry over to the new program. Some analysts have been expecting this since Loblaw took over Shoppers Drug Mart in 2014. All right, let's go to marketing expert Brynn Weingart. She joins us now from our Toronto studio to talk some more about this. Brynn, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Marella.
How different are these two programs?
Yeah, I mean, quite different, right? In the sense that Loblaws has the PC Points Plus, which is for grocery, and then the Optimum with Shoppers Drug Mart, that's in our drug channel. And so that has about 8 million members as an example, whereas Loblaws has about 11 million, even though it's a newer program. And so that really tells us, as an example, that grocery is more popular with Canadians in general. And then otherwise, their redemption rates are pretty well similar. $10 for 8,000 points at Shoppers, $10 for 10,000 points over at Loblaws. And so there's a little bit difference in terms of the currency valuation, if you will, but otherwise they operate exactly the same. They're both loyalty programs, which really are in the interest of collecting consumers' data.
All right, so is it a better program for consumers?
I think with do you mean the combined program?
Yes.
Yeah, so the combined program might well be better for consumers. As an example, what they project is that right now analysts are saying of those 19 million users, only 50% have both programs. And so what that means is that people who already have either one of those programs, those memberships, will be able to shop at over 2,500 store locations and websites that will then allow them to accrue more points. So that part's very good. And then also that those who have not both sets of points will now be able also to be, incentivized to go to the other franchises and to use both of those types of program points, if you will. And so what this really allows is twofold. One is that consumers benefit because they get to accrue more points at more locations. And Loblaw Shoppers Drug Mart, which is now the same, of course, parent company, will benefit because they get more data from more consumers consolidated. And hopefully what they're hoping is that more consumers will then go to the other franchises that they don't often frequent.
All right, so let's talk about that for a moment, because you mentioned the collection of data. There are people who don't want to be tracked. They don't want corporations to know everything they pick up at the grocery store. I guess if you're one of those people, you just choose not to be part of the program because now you can't choose one or the other.
Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, if you were really the type of consumer, as an example, that had that type of proclivity, likely you would not be then, you wouldn't have one or the other. So you likely would have both. And so in this case, they're really targeting people who have one or the other, therefore are not sensitive to being tracked, are willing to be tracked in their loyal and routine purchasing patterns. And so this is really about amalgamating those two, being able then better, not just to understand you better and what you're more likely to want, but then effectively, of course, data and knowledge is power. This is about better marketing power. It's about a better ability to target you for the things that you're more likely to want, to need, and therefore more likely to buy if they can create deals, points, programs, as an example, that you would be more likely to use and to want.
All right, Brynn, I've got to leave it there. Brynn Weingart joining us today from downtown Toronto. Thanks for weighing in on this.
Yeah, thanks, Marella.